Hey, welcome. It's Domain Dave, cheapwinefinder.com. Another wine review podcast like we always do 3 times a week. We write one up on the cheapwinefinder.com website, and then we hit the podcast room, the extravagant studio, and we talk about it. And today we've got an interesting wine from, of all places, Trader Joe's. It's the Trader Joe's Reserve Santa Ynez GSM 2022. Santa Ynez is in Santa Barbara. It's a river valley. It's in the southern part. The wine area, Santa Barbara, which is like 100 miles north of LA, is in a section that kind of juts out, like a triangle that juts out into the Pacific Ocean. So there is, instead of just having ocean to your west, it has ocean to your west, plus north and south. And this is on the south side, and it's a valley between 2 mountain ranges. And part of it, the western parts, does a lot of Pinot Noir, and really good Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And the middle part starts doing Rhone Valley grapes, and then you get Cabernet Sauvignon, and then the eastern part of it. Not that it's all that eastern. And a GSM blend is a classic blend of the Rhone Valley in France. The northern Rhone Valley is all Syrah, and the southern Rhone Valley is blends, and the Chateau Neuf du Pape is the GSM. It's the very famous one, and it says so on the bottle. And this is actually an MSG because it's 47% Mourvedre, 34% Syrah, 19% Grenache. Now, in the Rhone, in southern France, it would probably be a different blend, but it can be this blend too. But this is Santa Barbara rather than the Rhone, so whatever way they want to make it's fine with me. On the back it says it was vinted and bottled by Bolzano and Company, and that is a custom wine company. They've made other wines for Trader Joe's. What they kind of do, and they do many things, but they buy bulk wine. Bulk wine is wine that's left over. I was reading their website, and they were talking about how what's going on in 2023, and it's mostly like the famous vineyards are contracted. You can't get a hold of that. But other ones do have grapes available, and sometimes they're crushed, or there can be some sort of fermentation going on, or whatever. There are different ways you can get this wine or this juice. And so there are people out there that have good grapes, and you can get them. Vinted and bottle doesn't mean much. It just means bottle for the most part. And Bolzano's name's on it, so whoever made it's not on there. But with so many LLCs, and like they could have a special company just made for Trader Joe's wines, and they're the one that actually made it, and then they bottled it. There's so many possibilities of how this came about, and you never know, and it's really hard to figure it out, because even if you figure out one winery, doesn't mean that unless it says it was produced and bottled by, it's not gonna help you much. So GSM blend, they're really good. It's like the second most popular blend in the world. The first one is the Bordeaux blends, which is Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot with some Cab Franc, and then a couple other grapes, Petit Verdot, and a couple of things going on. But that's basically what's happening there. And there's a lot of that going on in California. If you ever see Meritage on the bottom, or Meritage actually, Meritage is fancy. That is a Bordeaux blend. There's an organization in mostly northern California, but it's all of California, that does these blends. I'm going to take a sip of this one while I'm thinking about it. And in the Central Coast, in Santa Barbara, and Santa Ynez is in the Central Coast, there's a group called the Rhone Rangers who promote and make Rhone-inspired Southern Rhone Valley for the most part. They can do this just a straight up Syrah. And they do those wines. And I'm not sure if this one came from one of those people or one of their vineyards or whatever. But it is a GSM or MSG. And why is that good? Grenache is usually a dark like maybe blackberry, maybe licorice. It's lean and sleek and not much tannins, and it's kind of dense. Syrah can be plump and juicy and spicy. And then you got Mourvedre, and Mourvedre is maybe blueberry with some spice and some savory notes. So you're getting 4 different grapes that have different, or 3, I can't count with my fingers, 3 different grapes that each have different characteristics that actually go together well, which is kind of nice because most value price California red blends nowadays have Petite Syrah and Zinfandel in it. That's like variations of that. They might add some other things in there, but those are the popular grapes and the grapes you can get at a good price for value price wines. But a GSM or MSG, in this case, a little bit different. So you're going to get these 3 distinct grapes all together. Now, they often don't use oak on these wines. They don't really need it. On this one, I thought I tasted a little bit of chocolate powder, so I don't know, maybe the Syrah was a little bit oaked, maybe a short period of time in there. I'm not sure. It could be no oak. I could have thought the chocolate powder and maybe some herbs and stuff were, you never know. But when you taste it, I always go with my first, whatever my first thing that pops in my head, which is nice to have something pop in your head. I go with that. Don't second guess yourself. So since it has 3 different grapes and 3 different flavor profiles coming in all at once, it tends to be a nice, flavorful wine. I mean, it's not, this is $10 wine. Even though Trader Joe's, a reserve wine from Trader Joe's is selling for $9.99 is probably equal at least to a $15 retail store wine. So that is something. So it's, that's not a bad wine at all. I mean, you're talking about quality wine there. I think everything over like $11 or $12 is considered fine wine. I mean, the bar is not that high. And these store brands, because they have price advantages, because they might be under that price, they could, if they were in a retail setting, cost more. So yeah, this is a nice tasting wine. If you're kind of looking for a change of pace that actually is very familiar and kind of fun to drink, it has lots of flavors, and it's kind of it's under 14% alcohol. And it's which for now, California wines 14.5 is easy to get. And it's got good flavor, and it's got a lot of good flavor. So that's it for me, Domain Dave from CheapWineFinder.com. The Trader Joe's Reserve Santa Ynez Valley GSM 2021 was a fun wine to drink, well worth the $10. I've got one more Trader Joe's before we venture off into something else before too long. Pinot Noir from Ynez, which it's kind of like their gift to you for Thanksgiving meal. It's like a $15 wine, but it probably is $30 in the store. So we'll talk about that in a few days. So adios, keep it cheap. I'll talk to everybody in a little bit. Stay warm out there, and I'll be talking to you. Bye-bye.